Hi guys, this is Lydia Wente, the lifestyle coach, and I'm just out here. It's a beautiful summer day, and we're here in the pool, hanging out. Well, there. I'm getting some emails and stuff done, but it's by the pool, so it's awesome. And just out here enjoying nature in the trees, and it's just a lovely, lovely day. So I thought that it would be great. I get emails about this all the time. I've gotten multiple emails in the past week about this very topic. So I wanted to address it a little bit today. And something that people ask me, because I help people to get rid of their disordered eating and just improve their health and really create long-term habits, something that comes up all the time is women who are so... Hello. Hello, family. Hello. Hello. Women who are so used to dieting and they've done it for so many years that they ask, okay, how do I eat outside of a diet? Like, how on earth do I do that? And so I'm going to talk about foundations today, 3 foundations to normal eating outside of dieting. Like, how do you eat if you don't have a diet, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a structure, if you don't have like some goal that you're working toward, or trying to get your body to be manipulated in a certain way or to create a certain shape or weight. So, deep breath. It's doable. This may not be the answer that you're looking for, and that's okay, because my pledge to you is to be honest above being pleasant. That's how it is. Like, I'm not here to like make you feel good and then do some sort of swap and sell you a thing. Like, this is just the honest truth from the data that I have. And I'm a lifestyle coach. I've been a health coach for a long time as well. I've coached over 500 personal clients, and I specialize in helping people with disordered eating to just find freedom around food. So this is not just from like my own experience. This is from a lot of people. So the first foundation to just eating normally is to get rid of eating abnormally. So if you want to eat naturally, or if you want to eat outside of a diet, number 1 is to get rid of disordered eating. And I know there's probably more to that than we're going to talk about right here, but honestly, like, getting things under control before you're like moving toward other things. So I have a video series at lydiavideo.com. I was a binge eater for many years, bulimic, and these are the principles that I have used in my own life to be completely binge free, and then that I teach other women as well. So foundation number 1 to normal eating outside of dieting is get rid of disordered eating. Take care of that first. Let that be your foundation. So I would go ahead, go to lydiavideo.com, and there are just short little videos. One of the first uploaded videos is 3 steps to stop binge eating, and that'll be helpful there. So step number 1, take care of your disordered eating. Step number 2 for just eating normally. What's step number 2? Oh yeah. Step number 2 is stop trying to lose weight or have that be your goal, or try to manipulate your body in some way. And I know, this may bring up a thing in you that's like, but wait, I'm not okay with my weight. But wait, I want to eat normally and I can't do that until I get to the weight or the body that I want. Or wait, I have a dream of just having this really fit, skinny body. Like, it's okay. It's totally all okay. But this is one of those like cart before the horse sorts of things, right? Like, it's going to be hard to eat normally if you're still eating in a disordered way, like if you have, some compulsive habits around food, and it's going to be really hard to do it if your goal is weight loss, like right up front. So let me tell you a little bit about how that works and why that is. If you have a goal to lose weight, or if you are restricting calories to do so, there are mechanisms in your brain. These are survival instincts that your brain literally, like, this is the neuroscience principles behind it. Like, your brain kicks in and it realizes, oh my gosh, we're going to start eating less food, and it will increase your appetite. Have you ever been like on a diet or restrictive eating, and you like, when you aren't on it, like maybe when you take a night off or whatever, you're like amazed at how incredible your appetite is. Like, I'm eating worse now than I did when I you know, wasn't on a diet. Like, so your survival instincts will literally drive up your appetite. Like, it'll drive up your need for food, your want for food, your capacity for food. So if you tell your brain, hey, I'm going to restrict my calories to lose weight, then it's going to be, you know, your brain is going to fight against that, literally. So if you shift your perspective to, I'm going to eat to feel good, I'm going to eat to feel healthy, I'm going to eat for my energy, and I'm not saying you have to give up on it, I'm saying setting aside your goals for weight loss are really going to help you if you want to develop normal eating in your life, because you don't have your brain fighting you. So, to review about just normal eating, number 1 is to get rid of disordered eating, take care of that. Number 2 is to set aside, you know, any sort of goals for, like, you know, weight loss or to manipulate your body in any sort of way. The ultimate thing to do, because if you manipulate your body to an unnatural state, so for instance, like, I don't have my dream body, but my dream body has my legs being a foot longer. Like, it's not going to happen for me. So it's like, you may have your dream body, but it may just not be the natural place that your body settles. You know, weight and just physique wise, like, we all have different genetics. I know that there's this really popular idea of like, oh, calories in, calories out, fitness, like, you can have any body that you want. There is so much to prove otherwise in that, like, really, really. So there's a difference between health and just seeing how your body shows up, and then this idea of, well, I'm just going to manipulate my body and it will stay there. Your body, your brain will fight so hard to be where it's most healthy and where it naturally is. And I don't know for you if that's the same image as your dream body. I know that for me, it's not. So being able to accept that is actually a healthier place than trying to manipulate your body into some weight or size, because your body will fight against it. It'll bounce back. So really having health as the goal instead of weight loss is going to be a, you know, very, very helpful thing. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is to trust your body, okay? A lot of people will say, well, I don't know how to eat outside of a diet. I need this structure, right? Or I go crazy if I just eat what I want. So look into my eyes. And you'll have to take it on some faith here, okay? But people have been eating for thousands of years without a good food and a bad food list and a type of eating and a label on themselves and this is the way that I eat. Like, eating doesn't have to be a big deal in life. Like, it can just be like a normal thing that you do, and it doesn't take a lot of mental energy, and you're not thinking of food all day. And one of the ways to get there is to just trust your body. Like, if you really ate anything you wanted, honestly, if you ate anything that you wanted, you would probably eat quite well, and you would be fine, and you would be healthy. All the things and all the huge portions that we eat are actually because we're not eating what we want. We're rebelling against what we tell ourselves we can't have. So if you say, hey, I can't have dessert anymore, and then you say, well, because left to my own devices, I just eat tons and tons and tons of donuts. Well, it's actually that you're saying, well, I can't ever eat donuts again. You're driving up your craving and your capacity for donuts, and then you want them ever before. If you really let yourself have whatever you wanted, you wouldn't eat in a disordered way once you get those habits out of the way, right? That was step number 1, getting the compulsive eating and the habits out of the way. So your body actually does this really great thing where it will tell you what it needs. It will tell you what you should have and in what portions, but it might take a little while. So, oh, please don't click water on me. It's a live
TV break. Okay, so my thoughts.
What are your thoughts?
This is what I thought was a useless metaphor turned into a useful metaphor. That perfect body, when you were talking about the Instagram photos, the inspiration or whatever you call it, where you lift up your shirt and there's like washboard abs and...
Yeah, that was on a different one. If you haven't seen that one, go see that one.
Yeah, go see that one. But so regarding that body is like this pool water. Show them the pool water.
There's the pool water.
It's everyone. Like perfect. But guess what? I spend almost every day of my life on this freaking pool water. And nowhere in nature does water like this exist. This is full of chemicals that make it pleasing to the eye, but wholly unrealistic. If you want, if you want to see what water looks like, we would have to go walk over to our little koi pond. It's green and it has life and it has fish and they're beautiful inside, but it's all green and mucky. But I don't do anything with it. I just let the fish swim around in. So, unbreak life.
All right. So that was a great metaphor from Christopher Wente. Okay, so yes, take that metaphor into your life and apply it how you will. And then step number 3 is to trust your body, okay? It may take a little while. So for instance, I got over my disordered eating. Like I wasn't bulimic anymore. I wasn't binge eating anymore. And it just took me a while without food rules and just, you know, trust yourself that it's gonna take a minute, right? Like you may eat a little crazy at first, but trust yourself that your body is gonna start trusting you. See, that's what it's about. Your body doesn't trust you right now. Your body thinks that you're gonna starve it. Your body thinks that it's a famine, so it's gonna fight back. So give your environment of your brain and your body a place where it can trust, and then it will start working with you instead of against you. So I would say for me, I'm not saying that it would be this way for everyone. This is just kind of the way that it worked for my own life. Probably about 6 months or so after I got rid of my bulimia, my disordered eating, something amazing started happening. Like I started getting these superpowers. So for instance, when I was bulimic and binge eating, I would just eat and eat and eat, and I would never feel full. Like I thought that was a completely imaginary thing that people just talked about because they were, you know, trying to be impressive. But your body doesn't tell you when you're full, because I could just eat forever. Well, that feeling started popping up for me. Like I would eat, and then all of a sudden, like I had these amazing mental superpowers, like I would just feel like I didn't want anymore. Like, oh, I'm full. And I would like do a little happy dance and be like, wow, I know when I'm full. And when I felt full, I didn't want to eat anymore. And I know that may seem obvious for some of you, but for some of you who are caught in like, you know, a habit of disordered eating, it's not a given. And you know what I mean. But for those who don't, like for instance, when I was a binge eater, when I felt full, I would suddenly feel this really compulsive, wow, the birds are like freaking out. Hello, freaking out birds. I would feel this really compulsive like need and drive to eat more. Like I was full and it signaled me to just eat everything and just go crazy.
Like all those birds that were just squawking?
Sounded like, oh yeah.
All that food in it.
Let's turn everything into a metaphor. So your body is like the pool, and my drive to binge eat was like the sound of those birds.
I mean, Chatterbrain pretty much sounds like that. Ooh, you just showed everyone the trees.
Okay, so now that my body is back in a more balanced place, like once I'm full, the need and the desire for food actually goes away. Like, oh, I couldn't eat another bite is a real thing, but only for a body that trusts that it's not in a famine and that it's not going to get starved. So the feeling of, oh, I'm hungry, I should eat something, that will just pop up for you, as opposed to it's time to eat, or this is when I plan to eat, or this is when I have to eat, or I feel compelled to eat. It's just like oh, time to eat. Oh, okay. And then you'll have little signals like, oh, now you're full. Oh, okay. And little signals like, oh, you should eat some of this sort of food because this would be good for us. Like, think if we didn't have Pinterest and meal plans and diets, how on earth would we eat? Well, our bodies have been telling us how to eat for a really long time. And when we try to manipulate our bodies, our eating gets disordered, our brains get disordered, and then we don't know how to eat anymore. Like, this is a natural skill. Like, babies learn how to eat, and if washboard ab pictures didn't come across them in adolescence, they would probably just continually eat normal in their life. Like there are some cases where like, you know, compulsive eating habits and things just come up, you know, because there wasn't anything necessarily that made them happen, but you can get over them and go to lydiavideo.com and I have videos on how to do that. But the third step is to trust your body. Honestly, guys, like your body will tell you what to eat, when to stop. Some people call it intuitive eating, but don't turn it into an intuitive eating diet. Like let that intuition happen. But it may take a little while. So just trust your body in that lag. If you eat anything you want and you're outside of trying to lose weight or a disordered eating pattern, your body will actually like give you good advice. So 3 steps to just eating normally outside of a rigid diet is number 1, we're reviewing now. Number 1, get rid of your disordered eating. So lydiawenti.com or lydiavideo.com, I teach you how to do that. Number 2 is to set aside any sort of like goal to manipulate your body in any way. You know, whether that's losing weight or whatever, like this will come naturally, right? Like after a while, like your body will be where it should if you can, you know, number 2, set those things aside. And then number 3, trust your body. So just be patient and walk that journey. And then the thing you get to enjoy at the very end is that you do what your body is telling you to. Like you get into a better space of, oh, so I'm going to eat when I'm hungry. I'm going to stop when I'm full. My body's going to let me know about that. I'm just going to, you know, like get to a normal place there and then see how your body shows up. Give yourself some time with just following the advice that your body is giving you and see how your body shows up. For most all of us, washboard abs, super lean, hardly any body fat, super ripped, those things will not happen naturally. There are some people genetically that are kind of more built lean that way, but for most of us, that happy place where our body is feeling safe and what shows up when we eat normally, the result of the way that we're eating is going to be a fine, healthy place with maybe a little bit of cellulite, a little bit of love handles, because those things don't mean you're unhealthy. Those things just mean that you have a normal body. We have a disordered idea of what healthy bodies look like. It takes a ton of work and a ton of restriction and probably creating some eating disorders for most of us to get that body that we see on a magazine. So just realize, like, you know, once you trust your body in the process, also trust that your body is going to show up in a way, and then you work on body acceptance and all that. But you can do so in a normal way. A couple of things that you can do to refine your eating, like outside of any sort of diet or structure, once you do those 3 steps, are the first is if you want to improve your health or improve your body, try to go not for less food, but for higher quality food. So, you know, if you're eating just the run-of-the-mill from Walmart meat or whatever, maybe try some like grass-fed beef or some organic something. Like, try higher quality foods and then see how your body shows up, as opposed to just trying to do less food all the time. And then maybe just some more activity, you know, being more active during the day. Make these small changes to improve the quality of what you do, the quality of how you move, the quality of how you eat, and then see how your body shows up and then go from there. But try to really settle down on that, like, reaction, well, I have to do something about it. I have to do something because I'm not where I need to be. So I have to do something drastic and then I'll be healthy. Really, it's be healthy and don't do something drastic. And that is where longevity is. And that's where the journey is. And I know it's not this super popular, you know, everyone will like pin on Pinterest or share on Instagram the 4 steps to gradually and sustainably create habits that will last you a lifetime. Like, it's not sexy, like it's not seductive, but it might be true. So I will preach truth to you. And as far as I know, and I'm certainly willing to be wrong, and I'm certainly willing to change, but I just thought that might be some helpful tips for you guys because it comes up a lot. So if I'm not on a diet, how do I eat? Well, there you go. Those are a few tips for you. We'd love to hear any sort of like feedback or for what your questions are. If you guys go to lydiawente.com, LYDIAWENTE, you can get your free ebook on how to stop binge eating and be successful at everything else. And if you go to that website, lydiawente.com, you can send me a note. Like there's a little place right there on the homepage. If you go to the continue to website and then on the homepage, you can just like send me a note and let me know what your questions are and I can answer them in this way, or they may get into videos, or I'll send you back a message, that sort of thing. Like I am so totally an open book and I would be happy to help you guys. So Lydia Wente, the lifestyle coach, signing off. Mwah.